I am 95 years old. 95. That's 34,675 days on this earth. And you want to know what I have to show for it? 6 mistakes. Not 6 achievements, not 6 trophies, 6 wounds that never healed. 6 doors I slammed shut that I've been clawing at ever since, trying to open them with broken fingernails and bleeding hands. People look at me and say, "What a long life." Long? This life wasn't long. It was heavy. Every single year got heavier because I kept carrying these 6 mistakes on my back like bricks, and I never had the courage to put them down. So sit down, shut your mouth, and listen to a dying man talk. Because I'm not here to inspire you. I'm here to scare you. I'm here to make you so terrified of becoming me that you get up off your chair and change something tonight. Here are my 6 mistakes. Don't you dare make them yours. Mistake number 1, I'll do it tomorrow. The biggest lie a human being tells himself. Tomorrow. Beautiful, safe, comfortable tomorrow. Tomorrow is a thief dressed like a friend. There was a girl, college, 1951. Her name was Catherine. She had brown eyes that looked like honey when the sun hit them. She laughed at my jokes even when they weren't funny. She waited for me after class. She gave me every signal a woman can give without writing it on a billboard. And I thought, let me wait. Let me finish my exams first. Then I'll tell her. Exams finished. I thought, let me get a job first. I need to be stable. Job came. I thought, let me save some money. A man should have something before he proposes. Money came. And then a letter came. Catherine was getting married to someone else. A man who didn't wait. A man who wasn't smart enough to be afraid. A man who just walked up to her and said, "I love you," while I was still rehearsing it in my bathroom mirror. I went to her wedding. I wore a gray suit. I sat in the back row, and I watched another man hold the hand that was supposed to be in mine. Tomorrow didn't wait for me. Tomorrow doesn't wait for anyone. Whatever you need to say it now. Whatever you need to do it now. Because tomorrow is not a promise, it's a prayer, and God doesn't always say yes. Mistake number 2, I took my anger home. This is the cheapest mistake a man can make, and the most expensive one to fix. My boss yelled at me, I stayed quiet. A client insulted me, I smiled. A stranger cut me off in traffic, I let it go. But the moment I walked through my front door, I became a volcano. My wife, Margaret, she'd be standing at the stove, dinner on the table, house clean, kids bathed. And if the salt was a little less, if the rice was a little hard, I'd erupt. I'd slam the table. I'd raise my voice. I'd say things like, "Can't you do one thing right?" One night I said it, the worst thing I ever said. I looked at Margaret and I said, "You're useless. You can't do anything." She didn't yell back. She didn't throw a plate. She just stood there, hands wet from the dishes, and her eyes filled up like 2 cups overflowing. She went to bed without eating. That night she slept on her side of the bed, curled up like a child. I could hear her breathing, shallow, broken. 3 months later, she had a heart attack at the kitchen sink, the same sink where she used to wash my plates while I complained about the food. I'm 95 now, and every single morning I wake up and I reach for her side of the bed. It's cold. It's always cold. And I would give every single rupee, every single achievement, every single breath I have left just to eat one more meal with too little salt. Just one. The people who stay after your anger, they're not weak. They love you. Stop testing them, because one day the chair will be empty and you'll be eating alone, and the food will taste like nothing because the person who made it with love is gone. Mistake number 3, I lived for other people's opinions. My father told me, "Son, artists die hungry. Become an engineer." So I became an engineer. I worked in a factory for 40 years. I wore a hard hat. I read blueprints. I earned a steady paycheck. I bought a big house in a good neighborhood. And I was miserable every single day for 40 years. I wanted to paint. I wanted to stand in front of a canvas with a brush in my hand and make something that didn't exist before. I wanted colors under my fingernails instead of grease. I wanted to create something beautiful, not just something useful. But I heard my father's voice. I heard the neighbors. What will people say? An engineer's son painting pictures? How embarrassing. So I buried it. I buried the one thing that made me feel alive, because strangers at dinner parties might raise an eyebrow. You know what happened to those strangers? They're all dead. Every single one. The neighbors moved away. My father passed in 1979. The people's opinions I built my entire life around don't even exist anymore. And here I am, 95 years old, sitting in a big empty house that I never wanted, wishing I had a paintbrush in my hand instead of regret. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to write poetry on napkins in a coffee shop, do it. People will talk regardless. They'll talk when you succeed, and they'll talk when you fail, and they'll talk when you die. So you might as well give them something worth talking about. Mistake number 4. I confused money with time. This is the one that eats me alive every single night. My son, David, 5 years old, tiny hands, big brown eyes. He runs up to me with a cricket bat. "Daddy, play with me." "Not now, son. Daddy has a meeting." David at 10. "Dad, come to my school play. I'm the lead." "Can't, buddy. Big presentation." David at 15. "Dad, can we just talk?" "About what? I'm busy." "We'll talk later." Later, there's that word again. Later, tomorrow, next week, next month. David is 57 now. He lives in another country. He calls once a year. "Hello, Dad. How are you?" "Okay." "Bye, Dad." 14 seconds. I timed it once. My son gives me 14 seconds a year, and I earned every single one of those empty seconds. I have enough money to buy a cricket stadium, but I have no one to play with. I have enough money to buy a theater, but no one saved me a seat. I have a big house with 5 bedrooms, and I sleep in one, and the other 4 collect dust like little tombs for memories that never happened. Money is necessary. I'm not a fool, but money will not hold your hand when you're shaking in a hospital bed at 3 a.m. Money will not remember your birthday. Money will not say, "I love you, Dad," and mean it. Time will, but only if you spend it. And you're spending it right now on something. Make sure it's not something you'll regret. Mistake number 5. I let my ego eat my friendships. Ramesh, my best friend, 40 years of friendship. We grew up on the same street. We shared cigarettes behind the school building. We were each other's best man. 40 years. And then one argument. One stupid argument about politics or money or something so small I can't even remember what it was. We said terrible things. We hung up the phone, and we both sat in our houses, arms crossed, thinking the same stupid thought. He should call first. Why should I apologize? I did nothing wrong. 10 years went by. 10 years of silence. 10 years of birthdays without a phone call. 10 years of holidays where I'd pick up the phone, dial 6 digits, and hang up before the 7th. Then, one Tuesday morning, her daughter called me. Ramesh died. Car accident. Instant. I went to the funeral. I stood in the back, just like Catherine's wedding. I stared at the coffin, and I thought, sorry. 5 letters, 1 second to say, and I held it hostage for 10 years because my ego was bigger than my love. I went home that night, and I sat at the kitchen table, and I said, sorry, Ramesh, out loud to an empty room. The walls didn't answer. The dead don't forgive, because the dead don't hear. Swallow your pride. Pick up the phone. Say the 5 letters, because one day the person you need to say it to will be in a box, and you'll be saying it to a gravestone, and it won't matter anymore. And mistake number 6, this is the one that's killing me right now, slowly, every day, like poison dripping into my coffee. I never forgave myself. I forgave my father for pushing me into engineering. I forgave my boss for the years of humiliation. I forgave Catherine for not waiting. I even forgave Ramesh for being too stubborn to call. But I never forgave Arthur. Every morning I look in the mirror and I don't see a 95-year-old man. I see a 20-year-old boy who was too scared to say I love you, too proud to say I'm sorry, too busy to say let's play, too stupid to say you matter. I've been carrying that boy on my back for 75 years, and he's heavier than all the bricks combined, because the world can hurt you and you can heal.